Hey guys, welcome to another video here at Cloud Colubrids. The weather's always wonderful out here in South Florida. I couldn't ask for more. Now, if you watched my last video, I shipped out one of the babies I produced last season from Apollo's clutch. Update, the gentleman received the snake. He made it there safely to Daytona, and he is in love with the snake. So I'm so happy, and I want to thank you guys for watching that video because it was a great one and everyone seems to like it. Now I got some coffee brewing, I got some mice thawing out. We're gonna be feeding all the breeders, we're gonna be feeding some other snakes, and in a couple of days we're gonna start breeding, start pairing. It's gonna be amazing. Let me go get that coffee and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got the coffee. Now I wanted to tell you, I forgot about that. I was thinking about the coffee. The Tarahumara Mountain Kings and the Gray Bands. They've been out of the cooler for about a week now. So now I'm gonna put them back in the rack with the heat. Probably feed them tomorrow. I may record that tomorrow. But first I just wanna make a toast to the breeding season of 2023, that we get a bunch of beautiful eggs, beautiful babies, and we can continue making these videos. Alright, so we're gonna start off with the Gray Bands. This is the male. Got that nice big water bowl for him. He actually looks like he might shed soon. Really dull on the colors. But there he goes back into the heated rack. And here's the female. Now for the female, we're just gonna put her on paper towel because the male's gonna be introduced into this bin when they breed. And you don't want the hemipenes to catch aspen as it retracts. Also, you could see evidence of the breeding. They leave little markings behind, so it'll be a lot easier to tell if they bred if you're not visually seeing the lock. So now we're gonna be putting the Tarahumara Mountain Kings back in the rack. And this is Mojave, the male. Now I got everything set up for him. And back there is his moist hide. These Tarahumara Mountain Kings seem to really like the moist hide, as they have issues sometimes shedding. So definitely want to put a moist hide in with these Mountain Kings. And now for Sahara, the female. Sahara looks like she could definitely use a nice fuzzy tomorrow, or a hopper. Looks a little on the thin side, but she's okay. It's been 4 months since she ate in brumation, and she has her moist hide in here, which also will be her lay box. We have some amazing babies from last season from this girl with Mojave. All right guys, I'm out here with Paprika. Paprika just shed. So usually people ask me, how long after brumation do you want to start breeding the snakes? I like to just wait for that first shed, get a nice amount of meals in them, wait for that first shed, and then just start pairing them. Sometimes you will pair them before they shed, but that's the general rule of thumb. And speaking of thumbs, she's got her tail wrapped around my thumb. Look how beautiful and bold and vibrant and extreme this girl is. And she just shed out this morning, so she'll be pairing in about 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna feed her today. In about 2 to 3 days, she'll be pairing, and then we'll pair her a couple of more times after that with Riddler, just to make sure that he got the job done. And this is one of my favorite snakes in the collection. Just an amazing snake. One of my first snakes that I've had. I raised this girl from a baby. I got her from Lee Abbott. I believe it was at the Daytona Expo. And she is just a stunner. So I'm gonna bring her back inside and we're gonna start feeding snakes. So I figure I'll show you Riddler since I showed you the girls. He shed out a couple of days ago. He's in his hide. Looking really, really nice. Just look how amazing Riddler is looking. And he looks like he's ready to breed. We'll be feeding him. I believe this is his 4th male out of brumation. He's usually an aggressive feeder. Now Riddler ate off camera. I think he's just a little shy because we took him outside. Normally I feed him inside. He knows something's up. You guys know I had to show you Pumpkin. She shed out 2 days ago actually. And I'm gonna try and pair her with Riddler. So Riddler's gonna go to Paprika, who I just showed. And hopefully Riddler also pairs with this girl. Hopefully to produce some amazing babies. And we'll see what happens with that. If he doesn't get the job done, then I'll probably just give her the year off. And then next season, we're gonna have an incredible male for this girl. Look how symmetrical her pattern is. Just an amazing girl. All right, guys, so Riddler, usually I just feed him in his enclosure. I never usually take him out and feed him, so he was a little shy, but right now he's eating the mouse. Now, I wanted to show you a couple of the babies from Pumpkin. That reverse Okati that I just showed you earlier, how they're doing. I could sip on some coffee, and then we're gonna start feeding some more snakes. Give you guys a closer view, and this guy gave me no issues at all. He was just very, very small, but he loves to eat right out of the egg. Didn't miss a single meal. Really nice pattern on this guy. Looks a little bit like his mom, Pumpkin. It looks like that male might shed out soon. His color's a little frosty. Now let me show you the year prior's clutch. My holdback, Ric Flair. Now this is a better look at Ric Flair, the 2021 baby from Pumpkin and Kane. There was only 2 good eggs in this clutch that year. This guy and another, which I sold. I do have them here, but it's for a local customer, so we'll be meeting up in a couple of days. But just giving you a look at this baby. Alright guys, dinner is ready. This is not chicken parmesan, lasagna, or beef lo mein. We have some beautiful, beautiful rodents here, and these snakes are hungry, so let's get to it. So next we're gonna feed Pennywise. I just upgraded Pennywise to a new bin, gave her a nice little cave to hide in. Let's see if she's home. Anybody home? You don't want to just come unannounced. Oh yeah, look at Pennywise just hanging out. Just an amazing, extreme reverse Okati high white from South Mountain Reptiles. Now I can't wait to breed this girl in the future, and this is one of the few snakes. Every time I look at her, I'm like, wow. So now let's see if Pennywise is hungry. She was just hanging out in her little cave, but she always seems to be an aggressive feeder. Boom, whoa. Didn't really give me much time to talk about it. We're gonna start off with Cactus, the salmon snow male from South Mountain Reptiles. He has some of his bedding in the water. Look at how beautiful this guy's looking, and as I tell you, like always, those pinks don't show up. And look at his eye. This guy is about to shed, so he'll be pairing in a couple of days as well once he sheds out. Now let's see if he's hungry. Some snakes don't eat while they're in shed. Boom! But that doesn't apply to Cactus. And Cactus has a nice greenish color around his bands, but with that shedding, it's hard to see. But if you look right around there, you can see it a little bit. But really, really frosty right now with the shed. Let him relax and enjoy. Now Xena is deep in shed. She's probably gonna shed out in a day or two. But once she does, we'll start pairing with Apollo. Let's see if she's hungry. Boom! Oh yeah. Now Xena doesn't play with her food. That's the one thing I can tell you about her. But we're just gonna let her relax. Paprika definitely looks hungry. She was out in the hot sun when we were recording earlier. She just shed out earlier this morning. Let's see if she's hungry. Here she comes. Whoa! Scared me there. Looked like she wasn't interested, and then boom. Now you can see the difference from earlier when I showed you her in the sunlight. So much nicer looking in the natural sunlight. In this dim room, you really can't see her pattern and colors as nicely. And some snakes, like the salmon snows, you bring them out in the sunlight and it fades their colors out. So it works both ways. Some snakes look better in the sun. Some snakes look better in the shade. Alright guys, so now this is Pumpkin. I just showed you her babies. We took her outside a little bit earlier. She's always seems to be hungry. Boom! Oh yeah. She's always been a super striker when it comes to eating. But when you hold her, she's puppy dog tame. So now this is Pearl, my female coral snow motley from South Mountain Reptiles. I brought them out here on this bin. I got the bin stacked up like a tower so you can see them a little bit better. Right now where the rack is a little bit dim, so let's see if Pearl's hungry. She's also an aggressive feeder. She's looking for the food. She smells something here. Uh-oh, she's coming. Boom! Now see, in the shade, you could see her pattern and her pinks a little bit better. If I was to bring her out in the sunlight, it would almost look like an off-white looking snake. Just how the camera works. But in person, the pinks are a lot more pronounced. Now Pearl will be pairing with Cactus. This is the first male that I fed in the video. Actually, I fed Riddler first. So this was the second snake I fed. Cactus, deep in shed, you see the eye. So this is a salmon snow from South Mountain Reptiles. He'll go to Pearl, which is a coral snow from South Mountain Reptiles. But if they don't pair and she doesn't like them, I have a plan B. So sometimes things just don't work out. You know, when I first started breeding, I got lucky. Everyone bred just like that the first try. Second year, I encountered some issues. Some females were rejecting males, but then they'll accept a different male. So I had to have a plan B just in case Pearl isn't interested in Cactus. And let me show you plan B. Alright guys, please excuse the mess behind me. All those beautiful rodents that are about to be eaten. Now this is plan B. This is Inferno. Inferno also from South Mountain Reptiles. And he's a male. Motley Red Factor. So Red Factor would pair perfectly with her in the case that she doesn't breed with Cactus. And I think if I was to pair her with this guy, it will probably increase the pinks and that Red Factor infusion. But you know, I already told Cactus that Pearl was his girl, so he's hoping that she doesn't like him and that he has the opportunity to breed with her. Now look at his belly. Inferno, one of the most aggressive feeders in my collection. One of the most aggressive feeders in my collection. He has an amazing pattern, which would work perfectly with Pearl, who also has a motley pattern. But look how calm he is when I hold him. I'm gonna feed him right now. Let me go get the fuzzy. Boom. Now here's Apollo. Apollo's gonna be pairing with Xena, ink drop male that I got from Don Shores. I showed him in the last video, one of his babies went out to Daytona. That's what that video was about. Apollo looks hungry. He shed out about a week ago. Boom! Oh yeah. Wow, look at Raven, how big she's getting. I'm gonna have to upgrade her bin. Now she's on the hunt for some food and she's actually gonna shed soon. She's gonna be pairing with Shadow to get those nice black California king snakes with those thin white bands. Now let's see if she's hungry. Uh-oh, she smells it. She's coming for it. It scares me every time. Boom! Whoa, double hit, double hit. She's like a boxer. She gave 2 jabs and attacked. So take a look at Shadow. He always pushes some of that bedding as well to the side, and he always likes to stay in this nice little skull I have for him. Got this guy as a baby, and I've been wanting to pair him for a long time. Whoa! That had to be one of the fastest strikes I've ever seen. Wow, I was just about to say, let's see if he's hungry. And so this is Scorpion, the Het Palmer Ghost, and he is deep in shed. He's about to shed in a day or two. But Scorpion always seems to be very hungry. So let's see what happens here. Boom! Oh yeah. Hopefully we get some nice Palmer ghosts from the pairing of him and Cleopatra, which I'm gonna get right now.
So here's Scorpion's girl, the lovely Cleopatra, Het Palmer ghost, and she looks like she might be about to shed soon, so once she does, we'll start pairing.
Maybe a little shake action will get her going. Whoa! Oh yeah. That's all it took, a little shake. Alright, so it's starting to get dark out. I want to feed one more snake before we end this video now. These Transpeko rat snakes are beautiful. I have a pair of Xanthic, Het albino, and I'm gonna be pairing them hopefully next year, if not the following. They're gonna be big snakes. I've got to do a little research on them to see how the brumation is with the rat snakes, because this will be my first time breeding rat snakes, and I'm so excited. They have beautiful blue eyes. So let me feed this beautiful girl. She's a little shy, so let's see if she eats on camera. So I wish the sunlight was out. You would see her beautiful blue eyes and her color. But she's a really timid eater, as well as Sinatra the male. And these are very curious snakes. It almost looks like they observe you when you look at them and open their bins. So I really love these snakes. They're one of my favorites, if not my favorite snake in the collection. Now let's see if she eats. Usually she plays with it. Sometimes she'll eat, sometimes she won't. Often I have to leave the pinky in the bin overnight and then I see it's gone. But you could see she has some sort of interest. Maybe if we come on this at this angle, this is the angle I usually feed her at. And this is usually what she'll do. She'll just hang out like this, smelling the pinky, the mouse. So what I'm gonna do is leave it right there. Let's come back in 5 minutes and see what happens. All right, so let's see. It's been about 5 minutes. Now I left the mouse right there and it's gone. The mouse is gone and it is right about right there. So she eats it pretty quickly, but she's a little timid when it comes to eating. Beautiful snake. So off camera, I gave all the female breeders an extra mouse, so they all have 2 mice in them. Now this is Paprika, looking really nice. It's dark now, it's nighttime, so it's a little bit shaded, but you could see she's nice and swollen right there. and let her digest that. In probably 3 days, we'll start pairing. Alright guys, I already made a toast to all the snakes that'll be breeding this season. Now I want to make a quick toast to you and hydrate myself. I feel so good. I just love that water. Now everybody ate. I'm gonna start pairing snakes in a couple of days, starting with the ones that shed out, and I'll be recording everything. Now you know, feeding all these snakes always gets me hungry. I got a nice ribeye steak that I'm about to prepare. I like mine medium rare. And you know what? I have some special herb potatoes that I'm gonna bake up as a side. It's gonna be yummy. So I'm gonna get that started. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We have plenty more to come. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hungry. Now I have an amazing dinner waiting for me. A nice porterhouse. No, not a porterhouse. Ribeye, that's right.